always very happy when I'm cooking Mexican food, and this dip is on high rotation when I've got friends coming over. It's a 3-layer dip, so we've got refried beans, sour cream, and a really bright salsa called Pico de Gallo. So let's start with the Pico de Gallo, the salsa. Into a bowl, I'll add some tomatoes. I have removed the seeds and I've just cut up all the flesh. I don't want this to be watery, so that's why I've taken the seeds out. To this, I'm going to add some jalapeños, fresh jalapeños if you can get a hold of them. If you can't, the jarred ones work a treat. This is just to give the Pico de Gallo a little bit of heat. Some of them are sweeter than others and some of them are fierier. So these ones are quite hot, so just half is plenty for me. So that can go in. To this, I'm going to add some capsicum. I've got a green capsicum today, and I like the crunchiness of the capsicum and the sweetness of it too. So a little bit of that goes in. You could also use different coloured capsicums, some red ones, even some yellow or orange ones could be quite nice for this. The more colours for this dip, the better it's going to be. Okay, pop that into our bowl. Some spring onion, so just 3 spring onions, and I just want the white part of the spring onion. So just finely chop them up. If you've ever been to Mexico, you would have this as a side dip when you're having guacamole. So you have one bowl of guacamole and then the other bowl of Pico de Gallo, and you serve it with some corn chips. It is delicious and super refreshing, but it's also great on a layered dish just like this. Okay, some coriander, and I'm just going to roughly chop the coriander. Oh, it smells great. And then in it goes. Okay, we need to season up this Pico de Gallo, so I'll add a good pinch of salt and lots of lime. Now I'm going to be using the lime zest and the juice, so we'll just take some of the zest off because there's so much flavour in the zest. And to this, I'll add the juice. And I always like to do this stage first, just to allow all of these flavours to mingle as we start to assemble the dip. So squeeze that in, and we'll give that a really good mix. And that salt is going to bring out all the flavours. Look how pretty that looks, so enticing. Okay, we'll pop that to one side and let's get on to our refried beans. So refried beans are pinto beans that have cooked really long and slow and then have been seasoned with some salt. They're then mashed, and you can get this from all supermarkets in a can. So I've got 1 can of refried beans. I just want to zhuzh it up a bit with some spices. So I've got a combination of ground coriander, cumin, and some smoked paprika. We'll add that and just give that a mix. I'm not going to add any salt to the refried beans because they've already been seasoned. Now we can start layering our gorgeous dip, and I've chosen this beautiful bright plate, very Mexican. So we're going to start with our refried beans, and we want to spread this all the way around the plate, just leaving a little border so we can see how gorgeous this plate is. There we go, spread that around. The next layer is some sour cream. I love the tangy creaminess of the sour cream, so a good dollop. I'm going to use the whole tub, and again spread that all the way to the sides, leaving about a 1 to 2 centimetre border so we can see the refried beans. All right, time for our bright and happy salsa. We're just going to pile up the Pico de Gallo in the centre, and again just sort of containing it to the centre there so we can see our sour cream. And I like to finish off with some Manchego cheese. If you've got some cheddar, you could also use that. And we're just going to grate that over the top of this dish. And I've got some extra coriander for the top. Now, what's a dip without some corn chips? So in a matching bowl, I've got my corn chips on the side. These flavours are epic together, so of course I'm going to have a taste. And be sure to scoop up everything together. So the refried beans, the sour cream, Pico de Gallo, and the cheese. Salty refried beans, tangy cream, and then you've got this pop of freshness from the Pico de Gallo on top with that coriander. This is such a great dip. And once you've made this the first time, you'll just keep on making this. It'll be high rotation because it is that addictive.